Sit back and enjoy an hour of fascinating facts you didn't know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. This vehicle, recorded in the United Arab Emirates, is considered the largest Hummer in the world. It measures 14 meters long, 6 meters wide, and 6.6 meters high. It was created as a curiosity for a collector and is not designed for normal circulation. Its size requires an escort and special permits to move. It is equipped with several diesel engines and has functional interior spaces. It is part of an exhibition at the Off-Road History Museum. The giant huntsman spider, commonly mistaken for a crab spider, belongs to the family Sparacidae. It can reach up to 10 centimeters in diameter, including its legs. It inhabits warm and humid regions of the Americas, Asia, and Africa, especially in tropical zones. It does not weave webs, but rather hunts actively through nocturnal ambushes. Its main defense is camouflage and speed. Some have spines on their legs, although it is not clear if they use them for defense. This phenomenon, observed in Whistler, Canada, is a parhelion, also called a sundog, or false sun. It is formed by the refraction and reflection of sunlight in hexagonal ice crystals suspended in the atmosphere. These crystals are usually found in high-altitude cirrostratus clouds. The parhelion appears as bright spots on both sides of the sun at a 22-degree distance. If it is incomplete, only part of the halo or a single bright spot is observed. Whistler's cold climate facilitates its appearance. It is a spectacular and frequent optical phenomenon in high-latitude regions. This is an aquatic anole with an air bubble on its head. They are native to Costa Rica and have the ability to submerge in water for 15 minutes, thanks to their ability to form an air bubble that adheres to their head. In Ida Ubu, Morocco, fog collector nets have been installed to supply water to communities in the Sahara Desert. These structures were developed by the German industrial designer Peter Trautwein and are part of the Cloudfisher project. They consist of metal mesh that captures moisture droplets suspended in the air. The collected water is used for domestic consumption, agriculture, and livestock farming. It also contributes to reforestation initiatives in arid areas. The system is wind-resistant and low-maintenance. The black egret, native to sub-Saharan Africa, uses a unique hunting technique called canopy feeding. It spreads its wings like a parasol to create a shadow over the water. This shadow reduces sun glare and allows it to see the fish it is trying to catch better. In addition, some small fish are attracted by the apparent refuge and come closer. This behavior has been widely documented in ornithological studies. It is a remarkable example of behavioral adaptation in aquatic birds. The biobus is a British bus that runs on biomethane produced from human waste and food scraps. It was presented in Bristol in 2014 as part of a sustainable transport initiative. This biofuel is obtained through anaerobic digestion of organic waste. With a full tank, the vehicle can travel up to 300 kilometers. This amount of fuel is roughly equivalent to the waste generated by 5 people over 1 year. The biomethane does not produce bad odors or visible smoke and reduces pollutant emissions by almost 100% compared to diesel. The Hamilton Scott's residential building is located in Singapore and is known for its vertical parking system. This complex allows residents to transport their cars via automated elevators up to their apartment levels. Each unit has a glass cabin next to the living room, where the vehicle is displayed. It is part of the Orchard Road District, a high-end area. The building has been internationally recognized for its exclusive concept. Meet Damian Ortega, a renowned Mexican artist who has created impressive installations in major cities around the world. Filled with humor and irony, this Mexican artist takes objects from our daily lives, those we rarely notice, and transforms them to create new situations. He has explained that his work is influenced by the works of Diego Rivera and David Alfaro Siqueiros. The Kanguru electric car was designed exclusively for people who use wheelchairs. It allows the driver to access the vehicle via a rear ramp without leaving their wheelchair, which becomes the seat. It reaches a maximum speed of 45 kilometers per hour. Its range is between 48 and 100 kilometers, depending on the model. It was conceived by a Hungarian company and developed in the United States by Community Cars. This is an incredible church made of trees in New Zealand. It was created by the company Tree Locations over the course of 4 years. It has an iron structure in the center to give it shape. It is called Tree Church and is available for weddings and other events. In addition, its gardens are open for visits and photo sessions. This peculiar cathedral has the capacity to house up to 100 seated people. In Pittsburgh, United States, streets paved with wooden blocks, known as pavement blocks, are still preserved. This method was popular in the 19th century for being economical and for absorbing the noise of hooves and wheels. Roslyn Place, built in 1914 with oak blocks, is an emblematic example. This type of pavement was common in several cities in the United States and the United Kingdom. Over time, it was replaced by asphalt and concrete. However, some historic streets maintain this design as urban heritage. The lowest temperature recorded on Earth was approximately -89.2 degrees Celsius, which is equivalent to -128.6 degrees Fahrenheit at the Vostok Research Station located in Antarctica. This record extreme temperature was recorded on July 21, 1983, and is the lowest value ever documented on the Earth's surface by direct means of measurement. Dynamic facial projection mapping was developed by the Tokyo Institute of Technology in Japan. It consists of projecting animations onto human faces in real time, adjusting to their movements. It uses a coaxial optical configuration with a synchronized camera and projector. Although it is designed for faces, it can be adapted to other moving surfaces. Its application includes digital makeup, fashion, interactive art, and shows. Recorded in Miami, United States, the Poppy Steak restaurant is famous for offering an exclusive $1,000 tomahawk steak. This luxurious cut of meat is not only expensive but is served with a theatrical presentation. It arrives at the table in an elegant golden briefcase and with fanfare, turning the meal into a true spectacle. This price is remarkably high, considering that a tomahawk steak or beef rib of comparable quality normally costs about 10 times less, highlighting the exclusivity and experience offered by this establishment. Drone soccer was developed in South Korea and made its international debut in 2018. It is played in teams of 3 or 5 people, where only one drone is authorized to score by passing through the opposing team's hoop. The other drones are responsible for blocking and providing strategic support. Each drone is encased in a protective carbon fiber sphere that allows for safe collisions. This design minimizes damage and turns the sport into a form of controlled aerial contact. The discipline is regulated by the World Air Sports Federation. Since the age of 16, Calixte Nsamita, a man residing in Rwanda, has isolated himself in his home due to his profound fear of female company. To ensure that no woman could approach, he built a barrier around his property. The 71-year-old man has confessed that any interaction with women triggers an intense feeling of fear in him known as gynophobia. The video was created by the Venezuelan Oswaldo Colina, known for his channel Dedos Bailarines, Dancing Fingers. It shows choreographies made with his fingers, dressed in miniature clothing that simulates real dancers. This technique is called finger dance and has gained great popularity on social media. Have you heard of golden blood? Its real name is R null and it is one of the rarest blood types that exists. Only 43 people have been counted worldwide who have it. It is acquired hereditarily as long as both parents are carriers and is universal, so it can be donated to people with blood types within the Rh or Rh negative system. However, it is almost impossible to get, as people with Rh null live in very distant places from each other. The giant umbrellas are located in sacred places in Saudi Arabia, such as Mecca and Medina. They were installed to protect pilgrims from the extreme heat, which can exceed 46 degrees Celsius. Each umbrella measures approximately 20 meters in height. They are made with UV-resistant fabric and some incorporate solar technology. Their automatic deployment takes about 3 minutes. They were designed by the German firm SL Rasch, an expert in lightweight structures. The city of Deshnok in India is home to the Karni Mata Temple, known as the Temple of the Rats. Thousands of sacred rats are fed and venerated here. Devotees believe that drinking the rats' water will bring them good luck. According to legend, Karni Mata was reincarnated into rats so that her descendants would live in the temple. The video was recorded in Prague, Czech Republic, and shows a tour on a beer bike. It is a shared bicycle for up to 13 people who pedal while drinking draft beer. The journey usually lasts 2 hours and includes tourist areas of the city. The average price per group is $409, according to the operator. The service offers unlimited Czech beer, music, and a guide during the tour. It is a popular experience among tourists for its festive nature. This fascinating creature, recorded in Bhutan, is a takin. This animal, distinctive for its robust body and peculiar appearance, is a ruminant mammal found in the mountainous regions of Asia. In the image, the takin appears to be a female, as males of this species are distinguished by the presence of imposing horns. Takins are native to specific regions, including India, China, and of course Bhutan, where they inhabit dense forests and high mountain grasslands. They are animals that adapt well to cold climates and difficult terrains. Since 1875, the city of Yanshui in Taiwan has celebrated one of the world's most dangerous festivals with thousands of rockets. The tradition arose in response to a cholera epidemic when residents sought spiritual protection. They prayed to the god Guan Yu, who, according to belief, instructed them to hold processions with fireworks to ward off evil spirits. The festival takes place every year during the Lantern Festival. Flying fish have a remarkable gliding ability, capable of traveling up to 200 meters and reaching speeds of up to 60 kilometers per hour to escape their marine predators. In Japan, these fish are appreciated in gastronomy, sometimes eaten raw. Their pectoral and pelvic fins are cleaned, their scales are removed, and they are served with soy sauce. Their heads are not wasted. They are cooked separately to prepare a delicious miso soup. Miso is a traditional Japanese paste made from a fermented mixture of soybeans, barley, rice, and salt, using the koji fungus that grows in rice paddies, which gives it a deep umami flavor. In several Australian cities, the green wave system is applied, which synchronizes traffic lights to allow vehicles to maintain a constant speed and pass through multiple intersections without stopping. This strategy improves traffic flow, reduces travel time, and decreases both fuel consumption and pollutant emissions. It is based on detailed calculations of distances, speeds, and light times. In addition, the use of sensors and algorithms allows for dynamic adjustments based on traffic volume. In picturesque Bruges, Belgium, this image was recorded showcasing delicate Brussels lace. This lace, famous for its fineness and complexity, is made through a meticulous braiding process with pins inserted into predefined hole patterns. Traditionally, linen thread was used, and to preserve the thread's flexibility, artisans worked in dark rooms. Surprisingly, only a single beam of light directly onto the ceiling was allowed, which minimized the linen's exposure to light and air, preventing it from becoming brittle. This ancient technique highlights the dedication and care involved in creating these textile works of art. These are the Dangxia stairs in China. These stairs, carved directly into the mountain rock, are not just an access route, they are a Buddhist pilgrimage to reach the temples at the summit. It is said that the physical challenge of the climb symbolizes the spiritual effort needed to attain enlightenment. It is impossible to hum with your nose plugged, as the vibrating air from the lungs passes through the throat, making it vibrate and produce the sound. If we plug our nose, the air cannot circulate freely, which affects the vibration in the throat, preventing the characteristic humming sound from being generated. This video was titled, Baby Dinosaurs. In reality, they are coatis in reverse. What looks like their necks are their tails. Coatis are native to the Americas and can be seen from Mexico to Brazil. They walk in groups, especially females with young, raising their tails as an orientation signal. They are omnivorous mammals with a varied diet. Hundreds of people named Josh gathered in the year 2021 in a park in Nebraska to fight for the right to keep the name. It all started some years ago when one of them, a 22-year-old boy from Tucson, Arizona, created a Facebook group chat with all the people who had the same name as him. In his message, he challenged them to a non-violent duel in which the losers would change their names. Incredibly, many men with the same name attended and had fun at the curious event. There are residential elevators designed for small homes and people with reduced mobility. These devices allow conventional stairs to be replaced in limited spaces. They usually have low energy consumption and quiet operation. They are marketed by companies like Ski Elevator. At the Vuringsfossen waterfalls, located in Eidfjord, Norway, restrooms have been installed as part of the Mobodalen scenic route. This area is part of a tourist route that crosses the valley and offers impressive views of the Norwegian landscapes. The sanitary facilities are strategically located near viewpoints and walkways. The village of Hutuan on Shengshan Island in China is a fascinating ghost town that nature has reclaimed. Abandoned in the 1990s due to the migration of its inhabitants to urban areas, its buildings are now covered in vegetation, creating a unique landscape where human architecture and nature merge. Hutuan attracts photographers and tourists, showing how life can flourish even in places where humans have disappeared, offering a green and surreal spectacle. A group of sanitation employees in the Turkish capital installed a library that already has more than 4,750 works recovered from the trash during their working hours. The library was installed in an old brick factory that had also been abandoned for 20 years. The staff goes there to rest during their free hours, reading or playing chess. The library was initially intended for them and their families to be able to take books home for 15 days, but now it is open to the public due to its great fame. Turkal, Adult frogs are carnivorous and feed on insects such as flies, mosquitoes, and beetles. Tadpoles, on the other hand, eat phytoplankton, algae, and organic detritus. Detritus are biological remains such as leaves or decomposing matter. Sometimes they are seen on fish, although it is not a common or functional behavior. The usual thing is to find them on logs, stones, or leaves near the water. This habit facilitates their rest and access to the aquatic environment. Pandas stand up and extend their claws as a form of defense and communication. By standing up, they look bigger and can intimidate possible threats. Their claws also serve to climb trees with agility, but by extending them they demonstrate their ability to defend their territory. This behavior is common when they feel threatened or during courtship, as they also use their postures and claws to attract potential partners. This image, likely captured in Pakistan, shows what appears to be moving yarn. Given the predominance of the textile industry in Pakistan, being one of its main sources of export and employment, it is very possible that this yarn has escaped machine control, perhaps due to a gust of wind or an error in the production process, creating a surprising visual effect. Efficiency in textile factories is crucial, and any anomaly like this can be an indication of a slight machine misalignment. Heilongjiang Province, located in the northernmost part of China, is the country's coldest region. In January 2023, the city of Mohe recorded a record temperature of 53 degrees Celsius below zero. This value is the lowest documented in modern Chinese history. Mohe has a subarctic climate, with long winters and extensive layers of snow. Heilongjiang has earned the nickname, the coldest China, for verifiable climatic reasons. In the frosty early morning hours of Albacete, Spain, an ephemeral spectacle transforms the landscape. Completely frozen trees. This phenomenon occurs when temperatures drastically drop below freezing, usually overnight, and airborne moisture adheres to branches and leaves, solidifying into a pristine layer of ice. The first rays of the morning sun begin to reveal these natural ice sculptures, creating a scene of winter beauty that disappears with the day's warmth. This is the Chimborazo volcano in Ecuador. Due to its location on the equator and the Earth's bulge at the equator, the summit of Chimborazo is the point farthest from the center of the planet, making it a reference point for geodesists and a challenge for mountaineers seeking the highest point in the world in terms of distance from the Earth's core. Rolex was founded in 1905 in London by Hans Wilsdorf and Alfred Davis under the name Wilsdorf and Davis. In 1908, Wilsdorf registered the brand Rolex, which he chose because it was easy to pronounce in various languages and fit on the face of a watch. Rolex moved to Geneva in 1919 and since then has become a symbol of luxury and precision, with a worldwide reputation as one of the best watch manufacturers. In Accra, the capital of Ghana, heavy rains carry trash into rivers like the Odo, forming true rivers of plastic. This accumulation impacts areas like Agbogbloshie, where many people live among the waste. Local collectors dive into contaminated waters to recover recyclable materials. Plastic is the main resource extracted and then resold. This informal activity provides income, but exposes them to serious health risks. Almas caviar is the most expensive food in the world. 1 kilogram of this caviar costs $34,000. It comes from the Iranian beluga sturgeon fish, the largest freshwater fish on the planet, which is found only in the Caspian Sea, where there is the least possible pollution to favor its breeding. Although the beluga sturgeon can live for around 100 years, there are very few of this species. Almas caviar offers a smooth texture that leaves a nutty and creamy flavor in the mouth. To preserve it, the so-called malasol is carried out, in which less than 5% salt is used. One of the most important Almas caviar sellers in the world, Caviar House and Prunier, sells it in 24-karat gold cans. At London's Heathrow Airport, technical failures have been recorded in the baggage handling system. In June 2022, thousands of suitcases accumulated in Terminal 2, leaving many passengers without their luggage. The situation forced the cancellation of flights and the deployment of additional staff to resolve the incident. Another similar event occurred in July 2025 in Terminal 5. This affected more than 100,000 passengers per day, causing delays and massive claims. The authorities recognized the problem and promised operational improvements. We carry more than 2 kilograms of bacteria in our body, which is equivalent to more bacterial mass than gray matter in our organism. We have more than 39 million bacteria, and if we joined them all, they would weigh more than 2 kilograms. But don't worry, these do not do us any harm and can even protect us from certain infections or diseases. The American artist Alexa Mead paints directly on human bodies and three-dimensional objects. Her technique creates the visual illusion of two-dimensional portraits, collapsing real depth. She uses acrylic paint to transform living people into images that look like flat canvases. The models are photographed without digital effects, highlighting the pictorial illusion. This inversion of trompe-l'œil makes what is real look painted. Mead has exhibited her work internationally and has collaborated with musicians and scientists. T-shirts were invented for bachelors who did not know how to sew buttons onto their shirts or use needles. The initial success was so great that by 1913, the United States Navy incorporated the buttonless white T-shirt as part of its official uniform, and the acclaimed actor Marlon Brando was the one who popularized this garment in the movie called A Streetcar Named Desire in 1951. Have you ever wondered why our tongue sticks to frozen surfaces? This happens because our body is not able to replenish the heat in our tongue as quickly as the surface extracts it. This can even happen with ice cubes. When the tongue touches the frozen surface of the cube, it extracts heat and cools it quickly. For the same reason, when we touch a metal on a warm day, we get the impression that it is cold, because it extracts the heat from our hand with great speed. This is a protective helmet for dogs that have high-risk jobs. The first prototype is called Trident M1 and was created by the American company canine using a 3D printing process. The design is focused on the anatomy of the German Shepherd because it is the most common breed in emergency services. They are not tight, are lightweight and comfortable to wear, and apparently the dogs like to wear them because they do not take them off, not even the first time they use them. Meet Glenn Berger, a man who has earned more than $20 million over 20 years simply by selling golf balls recovered from artificial lakes in Florida. His job seems very simple, but it is in fact quite risky. This is because snakes and alligators usually live on these golf courses, so by diving to fish for balls, he is actually putting his life in danger. At least he has managed to build a great business, selling each ball he finds for a minimum price of $1. In August of 2009, the director of Toy Story 3 revealed that since the first sketches of Toy Story, the cowboy Woody was given a last name, Pride. Woody Pride. A car is driving in reverse down a street in Los Angeles, United States. Its driving is precise, possibly taking advantage of a natural decline. It is speculated that the vehicle has a mechanical problem that forces the use of reverse gear. This type of maneuver requires coordination and knowledge of inverse dynamics. It is an atypical but real example of adapting to a mechanical failure on a public road. This is the reason why animated Disney characters wear white gloves. They were actually designed that way to save time when animating them, since in the early 1920s these characters were created to be animated, which was a very slow and difficult process. So to make the job easier, the animators added white gloves and shoes, which also helped them stand out from the color black. On the other hand, these details humanized them more and made them look much better. The technique used is called video mapping or projection mapping. It consists of projecting animations onto physical objects, adapting the image to their three-dimensional shape. A digital model of the object is created to adjust the visual perspective. Then, the content that fits that geometry is designed. The system uses calibrated projectors and specialized software to achieve precision. The F-15 jets of the Japanese Air Force have an imposing figure as formidable pieces of defense engineering. However, on special occasions, they take a creative detour in the spirit of celebration. Some F-15s receive unique paint jobs for anniversary events, transforming them into true works of art. These designs vary depending on each type of event, thus showing the cultural heritage of Japan with vibrant details. In China, there are mobile mechanical assistance vehicles that allow for minor repairs on the road. They are equipped with tools to solve problems such as dead batteries or flat tires without calling a tow truck. These services are common in dense cities with a high demand for assistance. They reflect practical solutions for simple mechanical failures. The eggs of cassowaries, which are the most dangerous birds in the world, are a fluorescent green color. They are birds that nest on the ground, so the green color of their eggs helps them camouflage themselves. The sculpture, The Traveler, is located at Orlando International Airport, United States. It was created by the American artist Dwayne Hansen in 1986. It represents a sleeping passenger, surrounded by personal items like a backpack and real tickets. It is made of polychrome bronze, with authentic clothes and human hair. Its hyper-realistic style gives the impression of a real person. It has been restored to preserve its visual details intact. It is an iconic work that surprises travelers with its extreme realism. Geodesy is a traditional Asian game in which players try to keep a feathered shuttlecock in the air using their feet. The ring road, near Reykjavik, Iceland, surrounds the entire island and connects urban and rural areas. In winter, it can suffer from localized flooding when temperatures rise unexpectedly. This sudden thaw causes water to accumulate on the pavement. Areas near glaciers and rivers are the most vulnerable. Authorities monitor its condition and issue alerts for temporary closures. The mantis shrimp is known for having the fastest punch in the animal kingdom, as it can strike with the speed of 80 kilometers per hour. It is known as the Rocky Balboa of the ocean, which mainly punches mollusks and crabs. The low-res car is a conceptual electric vehicle created by the British company United Nude. Its geometric design is based on a simplified digital version of the Lamborghini Countach. It has no practical purpose, but rather artistic and exhibition-related ones. It reaches 50 kilometers per hour and runs on a low-power electric motor. Its structure includes faceted surfaces and a minimal cabin. It is not authorized to circulate on public roads. It has been exhibited in museums and used in audio-visual productions as a sample of experimental design. Aircraft windshields are vital for flight safety and therefore must be immaculate. They not only get dirty with insects and dust during every takeoff and landing, but also with exhaust residue and moisture deposits. Their cleaning is carried out with specialized chemical solutions that do not damage the material and guarantee optimal visibility. Although airports usually have dedicated personnel for this task, their availability may vary, especially in smaller airports or during off-peak hours. Clear visibility is a critical factor for pilots, especially in adverse weather conditions. The Barat is a traditional Indian wedding procession, where the groom arrives at the ceremony venue in a lavishly decorated vehicle. This transport often resembles a rath, which in Hindu culture represents a ceremonial war chariot or deities. The symbolism highlights the groom's arrival as if he were a prince. In North Indian weddings, the Barat includes music, dance, and family accompaniment. The connection between weddings and rituals reinforces their cultural character. Recorded in Tokyo, Japan, this is the innovative karaoke bus. This vehicle is not a common transport bus, but a mobile entertainment experience, equipped with everything necessary for passengers to enjoy karaoke sessions while touring the city. It's a unique and fun way to explore Tokyo and celebrate on the go. Beer gardens are typical open-air bars in Bavaria, Germany, with roots in underground cellars where beer was stored. To maintain coolness, chestnut trees were planted to provide shade and regulate the surrounding temperature. These areas evolved into social and cultural spaces where local beers are served. Since 1812, it has been a tradition to allow visitors to bring their own food. This practice, known as Brotzeit, is supported by Bavarian regulations. Beer gardens still preserve their historical essence and promote conviviality. Discover the peculiarity of Japanese Ramune soda bottles, famous for their distinctive and fun opening method. Unlike traditional bottles, Ramune uses a glass marble as a stopper, hermetically sealed by carbon dioxide pressure. To open them, a special plunger is used to push the marble into the bottle. Once inside, the marble settles into a kind of neck or cavity in the bottle's neck, specifically designed to prevent it from obstructing the liquid flow when drinking. This ingenious innovation is not only functional, but has also made Ramune a cultural icon of Japan. Although Lunar New Year is the most important holiday in China, Western New Year is also celebrated in cities like Shanghai. In 2025, public shows with drones, lights, and fireworks were held, attracting thousands of people. These events usually take place in emblematic areas like Baoshan Port or Longhua Temple. Although the scale is smaller, they are part of the urban calendar and reflect the growing cultural openness. The horseshoe crab, although it's called a crab, is actually an arachnid like spiders and scorpions. Although they are not seen, they have 10 jointed legs that they use to walk on the seafloor and dig in the sand in search of food. This cocktail with a vapor cloud is prepared with a specialized gun called a flavor blaster. The device injects an aromatic bubble over the drink, using a vaporized mixture with edible essences. The bubble is formed with vegetable glycerin safe for consumption. This visual effect has become popular in bars and special events. The professional version of the device costs around $510 online. When Eminem's daughter, Haley, was crowned prom queen at her school's stadium, the rapper hid in an empty room and watched everything through the window, as he did not want to take the attention away from his daughter. Recorded in Florida, United States. A manatee drinks fresh water. Manatees swim in both saltwater and fresh water. We can assume that this is a freshwater manatee in a saltwater area, taking advantage of the jet of fresh water. Marine mammals in general have a lower concentration of salt in their blood than the salt in the sea, which is why they always take advantage of drinking fresh water when they can. Fog tsunamis are one of nature's most terrifying phenomena. The good news is that they are relatively harmless. The only real danger is the lack of visibility. The Saman dance is native to the Gayo people in Aceh, Indonesia. It is performed in a line and kneeling, with the dancers forming a compact row. The key is the exact synchronization of clapping and rhythmic movements. It is accompanied by songs in the Gayo language during cultural or religious celebrations. It was declared an intangible cultural heritage by UNESCO in 2011. Its execution requires precision and intense group work. It represents a unique expression of collective identity and ancestral tradition. The first vehicle crash in all of history occurred in 1771, when the French engineer Nicolas Cugnot crashed one of his vehicles into a stone wall. His cars ran on a steam engine and had to stop every 10 minutes to generate more energy. At Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas, luggage begins its journey after the check-in process. Once tagged, it is transported by automated belts that direct it to security scanners. These systems use radio frequency technology to track each suitcase. Then, the bags are sorted by destination and loaded into containers. The journey takes place out of the passenger's sight, in tunnels and restricted areas of the airport. This system streamlines the mass handling of luggage in high-traffic facilities. Soon, you will be able to taste food from your phone screen. A Japanese inventor has created sheets that cover the screen of devices. You just have to lick them. In large parking lots, it is common to see several trailers maneuvering simultaneously. These maneuvers require experience to avoid angle errors or sudden movements. They are practiced in logistics centers, cargo terminals, campgrounds, or recreational areas. Drivers apply techniques such as three-point turns and trajectory corrections. This is how emperor penguin chicks jump from a 15-meter ice cliff to swim for the first time. There is no virus that is 100% lethal. Although some are extremely dangerous, the rabies virus is almost always fatal, but it is preventable if treatment with the vaccine and immunoglobulin is received before symptoms begin. Smallpox was also a deadly virus, but it was eradicated in 1980. Medical advances and prevention have prevented the existence of viruses with absolute lethality. The Novato Bar, located in Shanghai, China, offers a winter-themed experience where artificial snow is the center of the show. This international cuisine restaurant combines a snowy atmosphere with live shows, music, and light displays. Visitors enjoy dinners surrounded by white scenery, visual effects, and artistic presentations that evoke alpine landscapes. The place is designed to simulate a permanent winter atmosphere, ideal for those seeking a different sensory experience. In the movie The 40-Year-Old Virgin, Steve Carell personally experienced a real chest-waxing session for a specific scene in the film. His reactions and cries of pain during the scene were completely genuine, adding authenticity to the performance and the situation depicted on screen. Recorded in eastern Siberia, Russia, this is a meteor lighting up the entire sky. It is estimated that the meteor would have measured between 10 and 15 meters and would have disintegrated before hitting the ground. Comparing it to the impressive Chelyabinsk bolide, both were the same size, but the second one released its energy much closer to the Earth's surface. The worn-out sneakers from the Spanish brand Balenciaga caused a stir when they were launched. With a limited edition of only 100 pairs, these shoes, which intentionally looked very used, were sold at a considerably high price. For many, this cost was excessive and unjustified, as they simply considered them a pair of old sneakers, which generated an intense debate about the value of design and exclusivity in fashion. The bird apparently emits flashes of electricity, but science says otherwise. The high humidity of the environment, visible in the cloudy sky, quickly dissipates any static charge the bird could generate. In addition, the creation of electrical discharges like lightning requires massive energy fields that an animal could not produce. Therefore, it is extremely unlikely that the bird is emitting electricity. It is most likely a visual effect from the video. This is a puzzle designed with astonishing precision, allowing it to fit perfectly. This accuracy is achieved thanks to a laser cutting process, a technology that allows for the creation of pieces with extremely small tolerances, resulting in an impeccable assembly and a very satisfying building experience. These clouds, which look so real, are actually computer-generated artistic creations. They are not just for digital decoration. Some artists even use these virtual clouds to train artificial intelligence to recognize weather patterns or to simulate complex atmospheric conditions in animated films and video games. The Rosetta Stone, discovered in 1799, was key to deciphering Egyptian hieroglyphics. The inscription in 3 different scripts allowed scholars to unravel the mysteries of ancient writing and open a window to Egypt's past. Strangely, a car appears on the roof of a small building on the side of the road. We do not have a shot of the surroundings, but most of the time this happens in accidents when the house is below the road, as in these cases that occurred in Chile, China, and the United States. To raise money for animals, the Toronto Zoo offers people the chance to name one of its cockroaches after their ex-partner. They send a message to their phone notifying them that they share a name with a small, dirty cockroach. Chefchaouen, known as the Blue City, is located in northern Morocco, near the Mediterranean region. It was founded in 1471 as a fortress by Moulay Ali ben Rashid. The city has about 40,000 inhabitants, although that number varies with tourism. It is famous for its blue-painted houses, a tradition that became popular in the 20th century. The blue evokes spirituality and serenity, attracting visitors from all over the world. Chefchaouen is a unique cultural and visual symbol in Morocco. Emetophobia is an irrational and unhealthy fear of eyes. People who suffer from it feel fear when they see images with eyes or allusions to them. In some cases, the fear can be specific to an eye color or a state in which the eyes are, such as wide open, irritated, or with visible injuries. Emetophobia can affect the quality of life of people who suffer from it. In some cases, it can transcend to not wanting to relate to people who have a specific eye color. Recorded in the United States. These are Chevrolet and General Motors trucks modified to be driven in reverse. The design included the tow hitch on the back and functional headlights on the front of the inverted vehicle. This is a beer made from elephant excrement. This product was made by a Japanese company and sold out quickly on April Fool's Day in the year 2015. However, the beer was not a joke. It was truly made with elements from elephant excrement. But don't be too worried. The secret lies in the diet of these animals. The beer obtained coffee beans that, when passed through the digestive tract of the elephants, took on the aroma of banana and sugar cane, which meant they were suitable for drinking. The Basque sculptor Andoni Bastarrica is known for his impressive hyper-realistic sand figures. His works, mainly of animals, are exhibited on beaches in northern Spain. To achieve realism, he uses wet sand combined with ash, charcoal powder, clay, stones, and sometimes glass. He creates details like textures or hooves with simple tools like brushes and toothbrushes. He also incorporates natural elements such as real horns or colored rocks. His sculptures usually last a few days but capture great attention on social media. Disney has presented HoloTile, a smart floor that aims to revolutionize the rules of the game in virtual reality. Its creator, Lanny Smoot, describes it as the world's first omnidirectional, modular, and expandable multi-person floor. With HoloTile, people could walk or run an unlimited distance in any direction without colliding or leaving its surface. In addition, this floor also has the ability to move objects. For now, Disney is not yet clear where it will be used, so we just have to wait a bit to see what this technology becomes. In Ning'an, China, the use of cannon-shaped sprinklers that spray atomized water on the streets has been implemented. These systems help reduce ambient heat during high-temperature seasons. The fine drops suspended in the air can form visible rainbows when reflecting sunlight. In addition, the cannons are used to reduce dust in urban or high-traffic areas. The practice has been applied in several Chinese cities as a public health measure. In the past, pregnancy tests were not as simple as just urinating on a test strip. Before 1960, the process was a bit more complicated. The doctor collected a urine sample, which was sent to a laboratory where it was injected under the skin of an African frog called Xenopus laevis. The urine of a pregnant woman contains the hormone HCG, which stimulates the ovulation of this amphibian. If the frog ovulated in 24 hours, the test was considered positive. Can you imagine having a robot chef in your house? This is Molly, a robotic kitchen that mounts on the ceiling. It is programmed with more than 5,000 recipes. Just buy the ingredients and choose what you want to cook on the screen. A direct-to-wall printing machine allows for applying high-resolution images onto vertical surfaces such as concrete, wood, or glass. It uses UV inkjet technology that is resistant to water and sun. It is common in personalized decoration and mural advertising. At just 4 years old, Sayans Oflu is a Turkish boy who is conquering social media with his talent, as he drives motorcycles, cars, and even cargo trucks. His passion was sparked when he was 2 years old, and, having a former pilot as a father, Sayans always seeks to go for more. His greatest conquest has been driving a cargo truck with more than 1,000 horsepower. The so-called army ants, also known as marabuntas or legionary ants, form mobile colonies with millions of individuals. They move nomadically throughout their lives, without building permanent nests, and attack prey in mass. Their behavior is aggressive, organized, and predatory. They inhabit from the southern United States to Brazil, crossing tropical regions of Central America. Some species create temporary shelters using their own bodies. These insects show a collective hunting strategy and a great ecological impact. On average, a person's hair grows 15 centimeters per year. However, the rate of hair growth can vary from person to person and depends on several factors such as age, genetics, and nutrition. This man transformed into a genius after receiving a blow to the head. His name is Jason, and he was a rebellious young man who suffered a severe blow to the head after leaving a bar in the year 2002. After being discharged from the hospital, he returned home with acquired savant syndrome, which turned him into a mathematical prodigy. The blow had affected the left side of his brain, which is in charge of mathematical operations, making this area much more active than before. Ganoderma lucidum, also known as reishi or linji, is a mushroom venerated in Asia for its medicinal properties. It has been called the mushroom of immortality due to its supposed health benefits, which include improving the immune system and longevity. This log got stuck in balance on a stone in the middle of the river. The current hits it from both sides, causing a movement similar to that of an oar. The splashing is due to the variable flow of the water and the unstable support point. This is an exoskeleton that can be controlled with the mind. The robotic system is designed to help patients with tetraplegia, a condition that prevents movement of the extremities. It was tested for the first time on a 28-year-old paralyzed man, and surprisingly, he was able to walk again. It works thanks to sensors that must be implanted between the skin and the brain, so they can record the activity of the sensory and motor cortex, which is in charge of controlling movements. This technological advance is expected to be able to help many people in the future. What you see on screen is a work of art titled The Persistence of Chaos, and indeed, it is a Samsung NC10 laptop. It contains 6 types of extremely dangerous computer viruses and malicious software, such as the I Love You virus and the Black Energy malware. It was created by the artist Guo Odong in the year 2019, and the most surprising thing is that it was auctioned for $1,345,000. The project had a cost of more than $10,000 and was financed by the company Deep Instinct. In Brazil, there have been recorded cases of people transporting gas cylinders while riding a bicycle. This practice occurs mainly in areas with limited resources or rural areas, where the bicycle is the available means of transport. Although it involves risks, many use it as a solution to the lack of motorized transport. These images reflect creativity in the face of logistical difficulties. 20 billion Lego pieces are manufactured worldwide every year. Their manufacturing process is so effective and precise that out of every 1 million pieces that are made, only 18 come out defective. A computer filters them so they don't reach the sets. In India, a man was recorded lifting a Royal Enfield motorcycle onto the roof of a bus while carrying it on his head. The vehicle exceeds 200 kilograms, but he manages to maintain his balance thanks to a protective base and a lot of practice. The act went viral in 2014 for his impressive physical skill. Meet the basketball backboard you'll never miss with. It is a creation of the channel Stuff Made Here and has gone around the world, as it managed to conceive a backboard with a parabolic shape, since according to the laws of physics, this allows the ball to be directed toward the hoop regardless of where the ball hits, as long as it is within the backboard itself. However, the design of the almost perfect basket was not so simple. To determine the exact shape of the backboard, he developed a simulation program that uses the Monte Carlo method. There is a Japanese virtual museum that only exhibits monstrous creatures. It is the Gensou Hakubutsukan. The collection is made up of pieces created by the artist Hajime Emoto. Although all the creatures are fictional and were made with paper, modeling clay, and bamboo, the truth is that they look chilling. The YouTuber Professor Live, whose real name is Grayson Boucher, is known for his pranks on public basketball courts. In one of his most popular videos, recorded in Venice Beach, Los Angeles, he appears disguised as a nerd. He wears glasses, a button-down shirt, and a clumsy demeanor to surprise with skillful plays. The real players react spontaneously to his unexpected performance. A group of researchers from Clemson University in South Carolina, United States, discovered that the saliva that reaches the birthday cake after blowing out the candles increases the amount of bacteria found on its surface by 1,400%. In the United States, especially in rural areas, it is common for families to build cabins as amateurs. This method saves costs and offers the satisfaction of building with one's own hands. Many use prefabricated construction kits that include precise materials and instructions. These kits can be assembled with basic tools and without professional experience. Specialized companies and online sales platforms have boosted their popularity. The trend reflects an interest in practical and accessible solutions. Generally, you cannot smell your own house thanks to the instinct of olfactory adaptation. Apparently, the brain is always on the lookout for changes in aromas that can mean danger, so it ignores those that are familiar. The eyes of fish of the genus Anableps are divided into two parts so they can see up and down at the same time. They are known as four-eyed fish. The Moscow Metro service accepts squats as a form of payment when buying your ticket. 30 squats to be exact. This video, filmed in Michigan in January 2024, likely shows the explosion of an electrical transformer. This type of explosion is common during snowstorms, when ice and moisture can infiltrate the transformer, creating a short circuit that generates a buildup of pressure and heat, culminating in a flash and a loud bang. In the Faroe Islands, an autonomous archipelago of Denmark, there are more sheep than people. The sheep population exceeds 80,000 animals, while the human population is around 50,000 people. The band Iron Maiden sued the developers of a video game that was called Iron Maiden. The lawsuit was for $2 million and was clearly because of the similarity of the name. Finally, they reached an agreement, and the video game changed its name to Iron Fury. The common basilisk, nicknamed the Jesus Christ lizard, has the incredible ability to run on water. It doesn't do it by magic, but by pure physics. Its hind feet have dermal lobes that unfurl when they strike the surface, creating an air pocket that allows it to propel itself. The most fascinating thing is that it achieves up to 20 strides per second, a speed that allows it to escape from predators. It is found from southern Mexico to Ecuador and Venezuela. At first glance, it looks like this car was cut with a giant katana. This is the way many brands show the operation and hidden spaces of their vehicles. In a train station in India, it is not uncommon to see cows roaming freely. In countries with a strong Hindu tradition like India, cows are revered and considered sacred, which explains their unrestricted presence in public spaces. This reverence is due to the belief that cows are the reincarnation of gods or representations of fertility and abundance, personifying purity and the sustenance of life. These geese, likely Canadian geese, migrate from Ontario, Canada, to the southern United States in search of warmer climates and food. Their migration is a massive journey they make in a characteristic V formation. This formation is not only iconic, but it also has an aerodynamic purpose. It reduces air resistance for the birds flying behind the leader, helping them conserve energy on their long journey. Edmund Hillary of New Zealand and Tenzing Norgay, a Nepalese Sherpa, were the first people to reach the summit of Mount Everest on May 29, 1953. Since then, more than 300 people have lost their lives trying to climb Everest, facing dangers such as avalanches, extreme weather conditions, and the lack of oxygen at high altitudes, especially in the death zone at more than 8,000 meters of altitude. When an intense beam of light directly impacts the lens of a digital camera, it is common to observe intermittent black streaks across the image. This phenomenon, which disappears when the light intensity decreases, is not a generalized optical defect of the camera, but rather a manifestation of the rolling shutter effect. This is a process that occurs in many modern CMOS sensors, where the image is not captured all at once, but is scanned rapidly line by line. When there is a very bright light source or fast movement, different lines of the sensor are exposed at slightly different times, creating these visible distortions such as bands or slants. It is an inherent characteristic of this type of sensor technology under certain extreme lighting conditions. This is the formidable Siete Estrellas via Ferrata in Yunyang, China. Although it may look like a dangerous fall at first glance, it is designed for tourism and is surprisingly safe. The routes are done with harnesses and 3 carabiners that are anchored to a steel cable. These routes, whose name means iron path in Italian, originated in the Alps during World War I to facilitate the movement of troops through mountainous terrain. In case you had never seen it, this is how mollusks move inside a seashell. They will only move if they feel danger. Keanu Reeves, known for his roles in movies like The Matrix and John Wick, is an avid motorcyclist. He has been photographed on numerous occasions riding motorcycles and is also known for being the owner of the company Arch Motorcycle, which was founded in 2011 and is based in California, where he designs and manufactures his own custom motorcycles. Kathakali is a traditional form of dance drama originating from Kerala, India, with centuries of history. Its performers narrate Hindu myths like the Ramayana without speaking, using gestures, facial expressions, and body movements. To do this, they master more than 500 mudras, which are codified hand gestures. The training is extensive and requires precise muscular control, especially of the face and eyes. The training also includes singing, makeup, and martial arts. Pandas are characterized by their black and white fur, although they are rarely born with a different color, like Chizai, the only brown and white panda that exists in the world. In China, an incredible laminar flow bridge will amaze you. It consists of arcs of water that flow so smoothly and precisely that they appear solid, covering great distances without a single splash. This effect is achieved because the layers of water move in parallel without mixing, thanks to nozzles and constant water pressure. The result is an almost magical sight, where water seems to defy gravity. The Ascensor, Castello d'Albertis Montegaletto in Genoa, Italy, is a hybrid public transport system. It begins its journey horizontally, entering a tunnel at the base of the hill, and then changes its orientation to ascend like a traditional elevator. This unique engineering allows it to overcome the hill's incline efficiently, and is one of the few transport systems of its kind in the world. Two bees, in a surprising act of collective ingenuity, manage to open and access the sweet content of a soft drink. Bees are fascinating insects with a remarkable communication ability. They guide themselves with intricate figure-8 dances to indicate the location of food sources to the rest of the hive, using different inclinations to convey direction. Additionally, their keen sense of smell and touch allows them to precisely distinguish various shapes and textures in their environment. This behavior demonstrates the complex social interaction and intelligence these small creatures possess. This is a silicone mask that you can find for sale online. This material is known for its incredible elasticity and realism, so much so that it is sometimes used by professional escape artists or magicians to create illusions of identity change in shows and demonstrations. Cerebral ischemia is a medical condition that occurs when the brain does not receive enough oxygen, usually due to an interruption in blood flow. Short-duration ischemia, such as that which can occur in a mild faint, is usually not serious. However, it is concerning when the lack of oxygen is associated with cervical injuries, as this complicates the diagnosis and treatment of ischemia. This is translucent concrete, invented by the Mexican company Concretos Translucidos. Its components are more durable underwater than conventional concrete, an attribute that makes it ideal for submerged architectural projects. One of its most curious applications is its ability to let light pass through, allowing it to be illuminated from within to create luminous effects, or even to save energy in buildings that incorporate it. Creativity knows no limits, and this recording from Brazil proves it. 3 soccer players show off their skills with rooftop-to-rooftop keepy-uppies. It's a testament to the passion and skill that soccer inspires in Brazil, where the sport is much more than a game. It's a way of life that drives people to seek new challenges and ways to express themselves with the ball. This scene, where drivers in Los Angeles abandoned their cars to flee a wildfire, is a sad reflection of the increase in wildfires in California. Firefighters often have to use tow trucks to clear streets and allow fire trucks and emergency vehicles to pass, a task complicated by the large number of abandoned cars obstructing the way. Behold the impressive agility of the Hexapod robot MAT-6 as it ascends a staircase with surprising ease. This type of robot, which mimics insect locomotion, uses an advanced elevated terrain mapping system. This allows it to orient itself precisely and adapt to the complexity of stairs or inclined terrains, distributing its weight and adjusting its robotic legs optimally to maintain balance and traction. The Hexapod design gives it great stability and capacity to navigate challenging environments, making MAT-6 a remarkable example of adaptable robotics. Why are the signs in this California town so low, the streets so incredibly wide, and the garages so large? It's because this is Cameron Park, a community of pilots. They have a central runway, and residents can take off and land in their private planes from their own homes. These communities, known as aero communities, do not have a control tower, so pilots use radios to communicate with each other and announce their takeoffs and landings. Interestingly, The streets are not only wide to accommodate the plane's wings, but in many cases, they also function as official taxiways. Discover the fascinating engineering behind these card-dealing machines. These ingenious machines automate the process of shuffling and dealing cards, ensuring fairness and speed in the game. You can acquire one of these online for an approximate price of $20, making them accessible for home use or small events. Their design varies from manual to electronic models, but all seek to optimize the gaming experience. Writing by hand using a pencil or pen has decreased so much in recent years that in a survey conducted in Great Britain, 1 in 3 people mentioned that they had not written anything by hand in the last 6 months. The glass frog is a species of frog found in Ecuador that has transparent skin on its belly and in some cases on its back as well. This allows its internal organs, such as the heart and lungs, to be seen through its skin. What is seen in this video is pulverized snow, a phenomenon that occurs when strong winds lift loose snow from the ground. This creates a dense white cloud that can reduce visibility to almost zero, a condition known as a whiteout, which can be as dangerous as a heavy snowfall. This was the Pebble, an almost toy-like smartwatch that appeared in 2012 and generated $230 million in sales. It had gotten ahead of Apple and its initial sales were solid. By 2015, Pebble was valued at $740 million, but everything changed when Apple launched its own smartwatch. It couldn't compete and was sold to Fitbit. Recorded in China, these cars went off the road due to the dangerous combination of a sharp curve and black ice, a thin, transparent layer of ice that is almost invisible on the asphalt. This phenomenon is a common cause of accidents in the northern regions of China, where low temperatures are extreme. This impressive bridge is China's latest architectural craze. The Rui Bridge, shaped like DNA, is 140 meters high and was inaugurated in September 2020. The adrenaline is palpable in this recording from New Jersey, United States, where the Ostrich Derby is held. This unconventional event involves riders on ostriches, and what makes this race even more peculiar are the brooms placed next to the ostriches' heads. These brooms are not just decorations, they are essential tools that riders use to steer the birds or to signal them to slow down. The Ostrich Derby is a unique spectacle that combines the speed of these birds with the skill and ingenuity of the riders. The bridge over the Itinga River, Brazil, shows an elevation of up to 30 centimeters in its center when trucks pass, which does not represent a structural failure. This behavior is a response to the Gerber-type design, characterized by a central section suspended between 2 main parts. The structure does not have a rigid connection in the middle, allowing for controlled flexing. This system efficiently distributes dynamic weight. The design's joints allow for some vertical movement without compromising safety. A completely dented Hyundai Maro is the dramatic result of a severe hailstorm. This type of extreme weather phenomenon, which involves the fall of ice balls from clouds, can cause considerable damage to vehicles, buildings, and crops. The dents on the car are clear evidence of the destructive power of hailstorms, which can vary in size from small peas to golf ball-sized spheres or even larger. For this experiment, candle wicks or pabelos were used, which burn much faster without the wax, and the tree must be artificial and fire-resistant. These wicks, which look like simple threads, have a special structure and braiding that allow them to absorb liquid wax by capillarity, a process that enables candles to burn constantly and evenly. This intriguing bird, recorded in Edmonton, Canada, is the greater prairie chicken. This bird, native to both Canada and the United States, is known for its unique courtship behavior. Males in particular perform elaborate rituals to attract females, which include inflating their bright orange air sacs and emitting a resonant booming sound. It is also common for them to stomp rhythmically on the ground, a crucial part of their mating dance, which creates a vibration intended to attract attention and display their vigor to the females. Recorded in the United States, this image shows a cottonmouth snake, also known as a water moccasin. It is one of the most feared snakes in North America due to its venom. It is called cottonmouth because of the bright white interior of its mouth, which it displays when threatened. It is the only semi-aquatic pit viper in the world, meaning it thrives both on land and in water, preferring swamps, streams, and ponds. It is crucial to stay away from it, as its bite, though rarely fatal if treated, is potentially deadly and can cause severe tissue damage. In the historic streets of Florence, Italy, art comes alive in the most unexpected places. This is the setting for the fascinating street art that transforms everyday traffic signs into vibrant works of art. These ingenious interventions are the creation of acclaimed French artist Clet Abraham, who with humor and creativity subtly modifies road symbols with stickers or additions that give them new meaning, often sarcastic or poetic. His work invites passers-by to see the ordinary with new eyes, adding a touch of art and reflection to the urban landscape. In the Brazilian jungle, a video shows a green anaconda hatchling, one of the largest snakes in the world, seeking refuge in the hair of a man who keeps it as a pet. Young anacondas are vulnerable and often seek warm, safe places. This unusual bond highlights the various ways humans and wildlife interact. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe so you don't miss more interesting content. Leave your comments and click on any of these videos. See you next time.